everybody, Susan LaCroix, a demonstrator with Stampin' Up. I just wanted to share with you today a little Valentine treat box that I made. We all, we frequently need a little treat for somebody, either teachers or friends, your kids, grandkids, your husband. So I came up with this little box this morning and just thought I would share it with you. I'm using products from the Sure Do Love You suite, primarily the tinsel trim and the designer series paper. So anyway, let's get started. I'll show you how I made this box, and it does hold 3 of these little chocolate hearts. So that's kind of perfect. All right, so we're going to move it out of the way. And so aside from your cardstock and your designer series paper, a couple more tools that you're going to want to have ready to do this. You're going to need your cardstock and designer series paper. And I'll give you the measurements and the score lines for that in just a moment, and it'll be up on the screen. But you're going to also need some way to score your paper in your designer series paper. So this just happened to be sitting next to me at my stamping table, so I'm using that. But you can certainly use the Simply Scoring tool from Stampin' Up. You're going to want a bone folder because you're going to want some nice creases. You're going to want a pair of paper snips and some tear and tape. And so those are the things that we're going to use. So I'm going to kind of get started here. So our cardstock measures 2.5 inches by 4.5 inches, as does our piece of designer series paper, 4.5 inches by 2.5 inches. All right, so we're going to use our scoring blade to score, and on the bottom, the box part itself, which is going to be our melon mambo, we're going to score it a 1/2 inch all the way around. So that's a pretty easy scoring measurement. So you just want to find your 2-inch and your scoring blade, which is the lighter one on this, not the darker one. Ask me how I know. All right, so I'm going to take that down to 4, score that, turn it again, take it down to 2. All right, and then take that down to 4 and score that. All right, so this is nice and scored now. I don't know if you can see the score lines very well. So our designer series paper is going to have a little bit different scoring lines. So on the short side, where it's 2.5, we're going to take that down to 2 1/16. And some of you are probably groaning out there, but it's the little line just ahead of the 2. So you're going to score there, and so we'll turn it around and do the other side. Same thing, just find that one little line and score it. And then on the 4.5 inch side, you're going to take that down to 4 1/16. So the 16th stays the same. We're going to score that, turn it around and do it again, right on that one little line by the 4, and we're done. All right, so we're done with our scoring tool. Let's bring these back into camera. And so this is where your bone folder comes in, because you want to have some really nice sharp creases. So this little tool, this little scoring tool, I have quite a few of them because I use it for a lot of different things, not just scoring. So it just kind of comes in handy. All right, so we're going to do that, and then we're going to do the same thing with our designer series paper. Get it nice and scored. Okay, there we go. Now we're going to bring in our paper snips, and we're going to, and I'll just show you on the melon mambo, but you're going to cut just up to that first score line. Just one cut on this side, one cut on this side. Turn it around, do the same thing. So you want the corner there, you just need to be able to make your tabs. Okay, so then you should have something that looks like this, where you've got your tabs in the corner. So you're going to turn this over once you get both pieces done, and you're going to put a little bit of tear and tape on each of these corners. Now, through the magic of television, I did that already on a couple of pieces. So this is what this looks like. You can't really see the tear and tape too much on the designer series paper, but certainly on the melon mambo you can. And this is the other thing that I like to use this for. This is a great burnishing tool, and if you just burnish your tear and tape a little bit, it comes off a little bit easier. So I'm just going to burnish this. Okay. And then hopefully, there we go. So you've got those nice sharp corners, and so you can just build your box with your tear and tape, which is much better than using snail, because I don't think snail would hold this. All right, one more corner on the box, then we can do the box top. We have a nice, oh shoot, wow, that's lucky. Usually it doesn't, you're not able to do that. So there you go. And then you could just put your candy hearts in. And we're going to do the same thing with our box top. And then we'll do some embellishing on the box just to snazz it up a little bit. And I'm using the tinsel trim from the Sure Do Love You suite. And I die cut some Melon Mambo hearts with the Sweet and Sassy heart framelits. And then I also stamped a little greeting, Happy Valentine's Day, out of Teeny Tiny Wishes. So let's put our box top on here. There we go. So there's our box. Here is our Melon Mambo heart and our Happy Valentine's Day. And what I did too is I just took my snips and just snipped and made a straight edge from the classic label punch. So that's going to go on our heart. And take some tinsel trim. Let's use the gold on this guy. And so we'll tie a bow. And I find if I turn my project upside down, yeah, I'm being brave here, tying a bow on camera. Then I usually can get my tails in the direction I want them to go in. Yes. All right, there we go. Not too shabby. Slide this guy under here, make our tail a little bit longer. Okay. All right. Let's pull this up a little bit. I jinxed myself when I said I was doing this on camera. Okay, then I'm just going to take my snail and glue that on here, and then use a little bit more snail and glue it on there. So here we go. We have a couple little projects all set, filled, and ready to go. So happy Valentine's Day, everybody, and happy stamping.